Hi lovelies, I'm Maria, beauty vlogger for Luxe Pineapple, and today I'm going to be talking about highlighting. Now, a few videos back I talked about a really quick way to use bronzer to quickly add some color and dimension to your face with a little bit of quick contouring. Now there are plenty of tutorials out there with really in-depth ways to highlight and contour your face, but that was just a really quick one. I didn't go into very much depth about it, but since then I had gotten a question about highlighting. Since I did not include highlighting in that video, I thought I would create something on highlighting today. So the question I got said, how do I use highlighter on my face? Where exactly is it supposed to go? Now the reason why I did not include highlighting in the last video was because, like I said, it was just for a very quick out the door everyday look for the typical girl who doesn't want to take a lot of time or doesn't have a lot of time. And when that's me, I usually skip highlighting my face because it's not exactly a necessity, but it is a nice addition when you really want to make your face look dewy and glow and to really make your features just look a lot more prominent and kind of stand out. So when you use bronzer or contour and you're contouring your face, what you're doing is recreating the shadows that are already on your face that usually get taken away when we put foundation on. If you notice your face without makeup, you'll have, you know, natural shadows on your face, and once you put on foundation, usually your face is more one-dimensional and you kind of lose those natural shadows. So when we add bronzer and we contour, we're adding that color and that those shadows back in, but when you contour a little bit more in depth, you also create a more chiseled look to your face, so, you know, creating a little bit more sunken in cheeks to make your face look a little bit thinner, your cheekbones higher, and if you contour enough on your nose to make your nose look a little bit smaller, just to kind of really make our features stand out and change the look of them without, you know, doing major surgery or anything like that. So it's just a way to play with the lights and shadows of your face. Now highlighting is very similar, so when you're contouring, you're adding some of the shadows, and highlighting is just adding a touch of shimmer or a touch of light where the light would naturally touch your face. It's not a necessity, but it is nice and does add a nice look of glow to your skin to make you look youthful and more refreshed. So anyways, that's just my little spiel about highlighting and contouring, so I hope you guys find it helpful, and I will go ahead and just go into where to apply highlighter and what brushes are best to use, and the two of my favorite highlighters to use. Alright, so there are several kinds of highlighters out there. There's liquid highlighters, there's gel highlighters, there's powder highlighters. I personally prefer powder highlighters. Just think they're a lot easier to work with opposed to like liquid or cream highlighters. And the two that I have and use most often are the Too Faced Candlelight highlighter and then the Mary Luminizer highlighter from The Balm. Now, these are kind of two opposite highlighters, and there are some that are more middle of the road that offer a little bit more luminosity. The Mary Luminizer is very, very shimmery, and this is the one I'm going to be showing you guys today just because I think it'll show up really well on camera. But I only use this every once in a while because it can be very like, wow, like out there. But my very favorite one to use is the one from Too Faced, and that looks like this. This one is not as noticeable. It really gives a subtle touch of glow to your skin. It's mostly translucent with a touch of this golden shimmer reflect that just looks really natural, and I love it for that very reason. There are some that are, like I said, in the middle of the road between the two that are a little bit more noticeable than this one, but a lot less shimmery than this. Like Becca Opal, I believe that's the color I actually really want, and then there's also the ones from Ambient Light that everybody's raving about that are just gorgeous to work with. But anyways, these are the two that I actually have, and I use this one the most often. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and show you with this because I think it'll translate a little bit better on camera, whereas this one doesn't really show up on camera. Now for brushes, a really great one to use for highlighting is a fan brush, just because it doesn't apply too much product and it's just really easy to use very lightly, because highlighter is not something you want to just like slap a lot on your face. You want to do it very lightly, very naturally, so you don't look like you're just this big disco ball. And then another brush that I like to use is this really big fluffy. This is more like a big fluffy powder brush, but I use this one when I'm using the candlelight one because it just sweeps on very naturally, and like I said, this is so light and natural. It doesn't, you know, I could use a bigger brush with that and it's not going to make my face look crazy. So I will go ahead and just show you how to do it. So you're going to take the highlighter and just kind of brush it on. I might do it a little bit heavier just so it shows up on camera because I'm not sure what's going to show up on camera, but you could just lightly take it in here. And the place you're going to put it, now I already have my foundation and pretty much everything on my face. I already have my bronzer, contour, and my blush on. So after I do that, that's what I'm going to highlight, and just take the brush lightly to the cheekbone. So right here, and just lightly brush that on. I'm not sure if you could tell, but how there's kind of more of a glow now, how my cheekbone just will look a little bit more prominent. And I'll go ahead and do that to the other side. And just kind of sweep it down right at the cheekbone, the top of the cheekbone, and sweep it down. You see how I have this nice luminous look. And then another place you could apply it is down the bridge of your nose. So if you contour the bridge of your, or if you contour your nose in general, what you're doing is bringing it in to make your nose look a little bit slimmer. And then if you add a little bit of highlighter there, it really makes the focus go to the very center of your nose, making it look a little bit more slimmer. I'm not going to apply too much there because I don't want it looking like I have just a total greasy nose or anything like that. Sorry, I'm looking in the... And then another place you can apply it is right here to the center of your forehead, just kind of going out. And then a little bit of your chin. So just the places that the light would naturally highlight your face. And this is going to look a little bit, I'm not sure if it's translating well on camera, but I'm applying a little bit more than I typically would just so it shows up. And so you have this nice dewy look, youthful glow to your skin. Now another place that you can also add some highlight to is your Cupid's bow right here. To really just make your lips stand out and pop a little bit more. And I didn't mention this in the last video, but you could also add a little bit of bronzer contour, just blended very lightly to right under your lip as well, and that creates a shadow there as well to make your bottom lip look a little bit more full. And then with this in addition, you just look like you have really voluptuous, gorgeous lips as well. Now the other way you can highlight, which you probably see in a lot of videos if you watch makeup tutorials, is highlighting on your eyes. Now I don't have very much makeup on my eyes, I just went very minimal just to do this look for you guys. So I'm just going to show you that another place most people highlight, and you can use a highlighter, or you could also use like cream colored eyeshadows, actual eyeshadows, but since I'm here and showing you this, I'm going to go ahead and use the highlighter. And a place you want to highlight for your eyes is right here, sweep my hair out of the way, right under your brow bone. And this just gives your brows a little bit more definition and height there. And then of course in the very inner corners of your eyes as well, just to really brighten up your eyes and make them pop. And that's it. That's it for highlighter. It's very basic, very easy. It's not a necessity, but like I said, it really adds a radiant luminosity, youthful glow to your face. And if you feel like you've put on too much or it just looks a little bit too shimmery for you, you could always go back over it with a big fluffy brush and a little bit of translucent or setting powder and just kind of sweep over it so you kind of blend it out and blend it in a little bit more so it's not too shiny looking. But yeah, that is the basics for using highlighter. I hope you found it helpful, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, because I love getting your feedback and knowing what you want to know, helping you where you need help. So feel free to leave a comment below, or you could also email me your requests, maria@luxpineapple.com. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next week, be sure to stop by luxpineapple.com where you'll always find a sweet deal.